energy issues not only present technical problems for engineers to solve, but they bring to bear economic, social, and environmental questions that planners, social scientists, and business leaders must answer.
By human development, we don't mean just economic growth and per capita gross national product. We are talking about other metrics that are more directly related to people's welfare, like expectation, provision of basic services, quality of governance, women's rights, level of technological development, things like that. The number of people that don't have access to electricity, 1.4 billion people. The number of people who that have to use biomass or poor resources to get their heat for cooking and heating their houses, 0.8 billion people. Obviously, priority has to be given to satisfy basic human needs and to free people from tough routine tasks like collecting wood.
And designed the pumping system and the irrigation fields and everything. And by the time we got about 50% of the way through the design process, which took us quite a while, we realized that our pumps were going to consume between 10 and 15% of all the electricity produced in the country every one day. Wow. And it wasn't that big a field. It was a field that was 1,500 hectares, employ a few thousand people. It was a very graphic, real-life demonstration for me of the incredible problem that developing countries face in not having adequate access to energy. They couldn't get out of their poverty trap.
So the solution is not going to be just about technology. One of the core messages, I think, is, and it may be a hard message, or an unfamiliar message anyway, to hear at MIT, but technology is not sufficient. There's no purely technological solution for these challenges. It requires innovation in institutions, in social structure, in politics, and in economics.
In this case, I was the editor of the book, as I was saying before, looking at how technologies could help human development in isolated communities, in rural areas, in developing countries. So I think that we learned 4 major things in the study. The first one is that it is critical to respect the characteristics of each community and to focus on meeting their actual needs. So the solutions have to be in accordance with their adopted choices, adapted to their specific conditions and resources, and be compatible with the local culture and the participation of the local community. The second point is the need for a careful choice of adequate technologies. It is not obvious the technologies to be chosen, and they are not the same ones that we would use in developed countries for the same purposes of lighting or heating or cooking or communications, water, etc. So that brings the last and critical issue that we learned, which is the importance of the legal framework, regulation, and the business model that will make possible attracting private investment. And it is very important to address the problem of scalability. So it is great that some NGOs have a project in a small village and have some solar panels in a school or do some wells in some other community, all that. But if we want to solve the problem of 1.4 billion people without electricity or 2.4 billion people relying on biomass for cooking and heating, we need something that could be replicated massively.
It's about implementation. It's about getting it done. That's not a technological problem. That's a problem of market design and institutional reform and ending corruption and bringing the rule of law and all of the factors that Ignacio just mentioned.